Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Ochona, and today we're going to talk about crafting the smart way. So, to start off with, crafting is when you get multiples of the same weapon, of the same rarity, and you combine them to get a higher rarity weapon. It's the same weapon, but it's a higher rarity. And so, the rarity of weapons is decided by the amount of stars that are displayed with the picture. Let me give you guys an example. So as you can see, I have some 4, some 3s, and some 2 stars. So something to notice is that there will be items where you can see the amount of stars, but then you can also see a star that isn't filled in. It's like a black star. That means that it's capable of being created into a higher rarity. And so the reason why that's very important is because the rarity decides how good the weapon is and the maximum level. I'm not actually sure how much of a difference there is in level. For example, here I have a 2-star item, and then I have the same item as a 3-star over here. So let's take a look at the difference in boosts if I were to get them up to a certain level. So the max for a 2-star item is level 20, and it costs 73,750, and these are the items required. But in the end, it raises up to 23, 39, and 33. Okay, let's just remember that 23, 39, and 33. Now, if we were to get a 3-star and we were to put it up to level 20, you would see that the stats are actually a little different. But the main advantage that higher rarity items have is that their maximum is a lot higher. So instead of level 20, the max for a 3-star is actually level 30. And if you were to compare prices when it comes to leveling it up, upgrading a 3-star to level 20 doesn't require any holy crystals, but it does cost a little bit more in the coal. So the reason why I made this video is because oftentimes we focus on getting a bunch of 2-stars, but we don't realize that because of the process it takes, it's actually cheaper to shoot for 3-stars instead. Another advantage that going for 3-stars instead of 2-stars is that it takes up a lot less space in your equipment, like your equipment storage. For example, over here I have 60 and I have 4 slots left, but I have so many of these items, so many of these same items for the event, that it takes up a huge chunk of space. And so let's say I were to get, I don't know, these 2-stars, and I'm gonna put them together into a 3-star rarity or a 3-star item. So the way you do this is you get one of the items that you're going to use to get the next rarity, and you max it out. So for example, I'm gonna get one of these 2-stars, I'm gonna max it all the way out. So level 20. There was a little animation. Thankfully there's a skip button because we've seen it enough times. Okay, so now I have a maxed out item. So the way you go about upgrading it is you would go over here to the evolution tab, you click on the item that's maxed out, and then where it says here materials needed, you're going ahead and click, and the amount of that replica, the amount of replicas that it takes to get from one rarity to another is equal to the amount of stars that the next rarity is going to be. So for example, since I'm getting some 2-star items and I'm going to upgrade it into a 3-star item, I need 3 in total. One of them is the maxed out one. So you get the one that's maxed out plus 2 more, which can be any level, which is why I suggest you only max out 1, and you go ahead and hit evolve. And so as you can see, there's another price just for evolving. Usually the evolution price is really cheap though. So the main thing is upgrading. So we go ahead and make it into a 3-star rarity. Now it's 3 stars, that's cool. And it keeps on going. The highest rarity so far is a 5-star rarity. And as mentioned, the only way that you can check to see if it's even capable of that is seeing if there's another star. Here's a good example of one that is 5-star. It is here we are. It's from the floor clearing event. So it's a 5-star item, but only 4 stars are filled in. Well, so now the question is, so would it be better to get the amount of 2-stars that it takes or the fewer amount of 3-stars? Well, as far as I know, the drop rate for the R3s and R2s from the events or the quests are pretty similar. It doesn't seem like you're more likely to get a 2-star rarity over a 3-star. So if you're strong enough, you can go over to the event, which in this case, because the event is the earth element, you're going to be fighting a earth dragon, and you're going to be going for these wind drops. I don't know exactly what the statistics are when it comes to the drop rates, but if you take a look, here it is right here. If you press and hold on whatever difficulty or whatever quest you're going to do, it tells you what items you are capable of getting and also the time rewards. I don't think that the drops are affected by the rank you get. I think regardless of what rank you get the same chances of those drops. As you can see here, it's limited to 2-star rarities. If I go up to expert, same thing, 2 stars. Once I hit EX though, I think that's when you start seeing 3 stars. Yeah, 3 stars and 2 stars, and I think if you hit master, it's only 3 stars. Yes, only 3 stars. So, depending on your strength and how far you're willing to go, would be the chances of you getting an R2, an R3 instead of an R2. For master, the way they do it is they just don't put any R2s, so that if you do get a drop that's other than like the crystals that they drop, it's gonna be a 3 rarity. So, fortunately, I already went ahead and I got a handful. So let's see over here what it would look like. So now I have 1, 2, 3 rarity. Whoops, 3 rarity, or 3 stars. So to make it a 4-star, I need 1 more. So thankfully I have these 3, which I need to get a 3-star. So I'm just gonna max one out. As you can see, there is a holy crystal involved, which isn't the case if you upgrade the 3 rarity to level 20 like this one. So it asks for less when it comes to material, but coal, it asks a little bit more. Like almost, it's so small. It's an insignificant amount of coal. So now we go over here to evolution, and bam, here it is. The items won't pop up on the evolution list unless they are maxed out. So make sure that at least one of your items is maxed out. You only need 1 maxed out or even leveled up to get the evolution process going. All right, so we got that. Now we can go for one of these. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna get 1, max it out. Bam, there you go. And I'm just gonna evolve it into a 4-star. There you go. And so the good thing is, if you don't have characters that are strong enough for you to hit those harder levels and get the R3s, you can still get the 2nd-star rarities. And oftentimes, because of the amount of times that you would have to do the quest in order to get the necessary amount of items to get a 4-star, you've grinded enough coal and enough like crystals so that you don't have to worry about it that much. But say you do have enough coal and you actually don't have enough of a resource. That's why they have this quest that's it's exclusive. It's a once a week quest, and it's depending on what item you normally have to upgrade. So for these, let's say it's asking you, what's the quest for today? So you have orange crystals. So if you're in need of orange crystals for, say, upgrading either your character or your weapons or your equipment, you should focus on one of these. Eventually you'll get to a point where you do quests so easily and you're just waiting for the next event to pop up that you grind the heck out of them all, and you have so much crystal that you really don't even need to go grinding for that anymore. The only thing that you need to grind for would be for the items themselves, the drops. So if you want to save yourself a bit of money and you're capable of it, then you should probably shoot for those R3s. Otherwise, go for the R2s. That's fine. You do it like enough times to get all the resources necessary, and then you can get the items. Now, the reason why that item that I upgraded specifically is important is because that's one of the 2 items that are going to give you a huge advantage in the event, the ranking event. And so if you want to look at how it works, you can go over to notices, and I believe you just scroll down to the quest where it offers the outfit. Let's see if I can find it. Here we are. So if you go ahead and click on it, it'll give you details, and it'll give you details on what specifically they do. For example, this apron dress, the damage received is reduced by 20%, and the hair dress is 10% damage that you give. So for the most part, what I've seen is that the outfit, the armor will protect you, whereas the accessory like this, the white hat, will add damage. So for those that want to go higher in the rankings, you would want to equip your characters with both the dress and the hat. And so mostly for people that are further into the game, that are, you know, like the top rankers, they're the ones that focus more on just the hat, because it gets to a point, like I've mentioned so much in these previous videos, where it's like a no-hit run, and it just comes down to how much damage you do and how well you execute yourself, so that you get the least amount of time in those ranking events. Another positive thing about these items is that because they're drops, you don't have to worry about scouting. So let me show you about the scouting method. So when it comes to scouting, you don't just scout for characters, you can also scout for weapons. And oftentimes the weapons that they put up for scouting are usually similar, or they correspond to the special characters that they bring out. So for example, like all the maids have their set. These are all like the idols, they have their set. The 2 knights, like the OS characters, they all have theirs. Now, besides these though, they have a huge list of other weapons that are possible for you to get. So it's not like the metal scouts where it's like you're only limited to these characters. So the reason why this is important though is because there's an option when you go to the blacksmith. There's an option for you to exchange 4 stars for another 4-star. Now you might think, why would I want to switch a 4-star for another 4-star? Especially when they ask you for 4 stars for the price of 1. Like, why would I do that? That doesn't make sense. The reason why is because there's going to be a point where you get a really good character, and the only way to make them stronger is to make sure that they're fully maxed out, they're fully hacked out, their battle skills are all upgraded and ready to go, and they have their preferred armor and weapons. So for example, my Silica, which you guys have seen a couple of times, is practically like that. Everything she has is, you know, the OS uniform, her OS blade, completely maxed out for power and critical, completely maxed out in level. Everything's maxed out. So that's like one of my strongest characters, specifically for when it comes to ranking events. Because if it were for something that's more long-term, for example, like the floor clearing event, then it would be pretty bad, because she's very glass cannon-y. She can deal a bunch of damage, but strike her a couple of times and she's out for the count. So hopefully this information helps you guys out when it comes to deciding what to craft, and also what to scout, what to attempt to scout. For the most part, what I try doing is when it comes to the exchange that they offer in the blacksmith, I'll try getting the weapons that I've gotten from scouting other weapons, the ones that are 3-star, and hope that the next time that I decide to do a scout, like for example these 3 lightning fences, if I can get a 4th one, I can craft them into a 4-star, and then I can go ahead and use them in the exchange shop. If I were to click, let's see, what do I have that I could possibly use? Let's say a very helpful one would probably be that bow. Yeah, the sweet shooter. So if you check, the only items that are available for you to use to exchange are the items that you've either purchased or crafted up. But you can't use the ones that you get from item quests. Like for example, I don't know, when the game first started, they had an event where you could craft up a 4-star dual blades weapon. You can't use those. You can only use the ones that you scout for. So yeah, so hopefully that information helps you guys out, and you guys can start getting, the weapons necessary to really amp up your game. And until next time, which will probably be me doing a quick run of the ranking event and how to get really good at maximizing your points, I'll see you guys later. Take care.